Hello everybody and welcome to the first motovlog on the channel. So we're going to be doing a crew 2 motovlog today. I'm going to be just going over a few things I wanted to touch on today. And yes, you might be seeing that I'm not driving the Indian Scout, like I always highly talk about. And so today I wanted to give my opinions on the Harley Davidson Iron 883. Yeah, anyway guys, without further ado, let's get into this ride. Alright guys, so today we're going to be driving to Dallas. And yeah, let's get going. Hold on guys, it's necessary. You need to rev inside of the tunnel. But yeah, anyway guys, so I wanted to kind of touch on the whole topic surrounding the Iron 883. So I'm personally quite a big fan of this bike. I haven't really been doing a lot of research on Harleys because my main focus was Indian, in the brand Indian, and I really like Indians, and so I was just thinking about that. But then I was watching a YouTube video by the name of Blockhead. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he was talking pretty highly of the Iron, and he actually owns one himself. I believe it was a 2016, either 2016 or 2018 Iron, but I'm pretty sure it's 2016. But anyway, he uses it quite a bit, and I was actually pretty impressed with the way the bike sounded, the way everything was on the bike. And obviously I knew he had a aftermarket exhaust on it, but nonetheless this bike is also a very good starter. It's a very good price range actually. I mean, you could find these for about 8 to 9 grand US, which is not that bad to be honest for a bike. And on top of that, I think that it's not a very heavy bike, it's not a very big bike, it's just a normal Sportster, you know, pretty simple Sportster. So, you know, the Indian is also a very good bike, but I feel like the Indian might be a little too advanced. Not really advanced, like difficult to drive, but it's not like an investment that you'd want to make, if you know what I'm saying. Not that it's an investment you wouldn't want to make because it's a bad bike, but just because it's like, you know, if you're getting your first bike, you know, get something you can find used, and you can find used easier. I mean, you can find used Harley Davidson bikes very easily. When it comes to Indians though, you could probably still find them pretty easily. I just don't know if I'd want to ruin a bike like that or mess up a bike like that that is, you know, expensive like that, because that's more expensive than the Iron. The Iron's about 8 to 9 grand, and you're looking at Indian Scout that goes anywhere from, you know, $11,000 to $13,000, which is a little much for a beginner bike especially. And I mean, no one ever said that motorcycles were going to be cheap, because they obviously aren't cheap, but I mean, in the long run I find motorcycles to be cheaper than your you know, like than your ordinary car, right? But yeah, anyway, I don't know, I personally think that the Iron 883 just seems like a better starter bike, and from everyone I've heard, it's like Sportsters are the best starter bikes. They're just so affordable, and they're just very easy to drive. Like, they're not hard to drive. There's nothing complex about them. Oh, perfect. It started to rain. Of course. Why wouldn't it rain? But yeah, anyway, so back to my point on the bike. I just think that the bike is more affordable. It's better as a starter bike than an Indian. I think a lot of people will either go for an Indian or they'll go for a Harley Davidson, like a Sportster, or like an Indian bobber to start off with. But I don't know. I have to do more research, obviously. But I personally think that the 883 is just a more universal bike. It's just a better bike to drive as a beginner. Cheaper. Anyway, it's something to think about. But yeah, I'm just very excited to get into some motovlogs and just hang out and do some stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty fun. In the meantime, though, I think we'll do some motovlogs like this or on GTA. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. But yeah, I mean, this is still pretty chill. I enjoy doing these, except for the fact that it's raining. This is gonna make it like 100 times more dangerous. But yeah, we're just gonna take our drive up to Dallas. It's a pretty chill ride. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of highways, and yeah, we'll just see how everything plays out here. Oh, it's getting a little bumpy. Oh god, just get through all of these cars here. You know, the other thing you need to think about when getting a bike is the cost, right? Like all of the extra costs on top of that. Like you have all your payments you need to make for all the different course stuff, whether it's the actual street test, whether it's the in-class test, whether it's the driver's ed classes, whether it's any of those things. They all, especially the motorcycle safety course, that one is pretty expensive, but it's obviously worth it. I mean, you need that in some places, and I know for a fact that even if I didn't need it, I'd still do it, because motorcycles are fun, but they're also very dangerous, and a lot of people can get kind of crazy on a bike. Obviously, I'm not going to be that kind of a person, but I just think that knowing your bike and knowing how to use a bike to the fullest 100%, I just think that would make it a better experience altogether, really. Speed up a little bit here. Now, of course, I'm doing this one solo, but I'm hoping that in the near future here we can get a few more people in these. I think it'll be pretty fun. Yeah, I'm going to get some gas real quick. But yeah, I don't know. I think that this will be a lot of fun, and then on GTA, we can do a lot of roleplay kind of stuff. What's going on with that recycling bin? The one thing I can say though about doing this on GTA is the bikes just don't cut it for me. I find that the bikes all seem to be pretty, like fake, obviously, because you can't use the real brands, but I mean, it's still worth having a try at it, see what it's like. Yeah, one of the things I love so much about this game is just the bikes. I always say that I was very disappointed when I got this game to see like how the steering was. The steering definitely was an afterthought. They really didn't put too They really didn't put too much effort into that. You do a full like U-turn, your steering wheel doesn't even turn halfway. So it's just a little frustrating when you're driving and stuff like that, because for me personally, when I'm driving, I determine all of my turns and how sharp they are depending on how far the wheel turns, because then I can know how fast I need to recover and how much I have to recover. And in this game, the steering wheel, like first person, I also love driving in first person, and it's just so underwhelming really when I saw how they did the steering mechanics. So I think that when it comes to the bikes though, they did an absolutely insane job, so I give them props to that. It's very realistic with all the leaning and whatnot, so yeah, definitely give them props for the motorcycle stuff. But yeah, hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy these. I think it's a pretty cool, fun, little, it's just a video idea. I thought it would be pretty cool, and something I want to do in real life also, so I love that. I can do it in game, especially with bikes I want in real life. Like, doing this, obviously it's not the same as driving a real bike. I mean, everyone knows that, but the thing is, it's just, it gives you a sense of realism, and it gives you an idea of how the bike sounds, and it's actually pretty cool how they made each bike handle different. I mean, they even say it's like some are harder to drive, some are easier to drive, and so it definitely gives you a good idea of what bike would be a good starter bike, depending on the style of bike that you want. Obviously, for me personally, I'm into Harley Davidsons and like bobbers and Sportsters and things like that, and just cruise bikes. You'll never catch me on a street glide though. Those things are like retirement mobiles. Yeah, they did a very good job on the motorcycles, and that's exactly why I'm doing my first one on here. I was planning on using my Indian Scout, but like I said, after I did some research, I thought that the Iron would be better, but I'll take out my Indian Scout in the next one. I don't know, it's always been a thing with me. I've always loved Harley Davidson, and it wasn't until recently that I really knew about Indian. And then when I saw it was in the game when I got it a few months back, I was kind of excited. With the Iron, I was a little underwhelmed with how it sounded. I feel like even in real life, the stock exhaust in this thing is not loud enough. I feel like it's just too quiet. And for me personally, I want a bike that's loud. Not only because I like the noise of the bike, and not only because I think it sounds nice when it's deep, because I do love like the deep throaty sound of a motorcycle, but it also comes down to, you know, safety. If there's ever a car approaching you and, you know, there's a chance of them hitting you, you can, you know, rev a little bit, or you can do something along the lines of that to get them to, you know, wake up and stay in their lane. Because one of the most annoying things, honestly, comes down to the drivers on the road. I mean, not every driver is bad, but not a lot of them are good. So yeah, that's just one of the bigger concerns when you're riding a motorcycle, is not even your own safety. Because I mean, if you're a safe driver and you know that you're good at driving, then there shouldn't be any problems. But it really all comes down to the people around you on the road, because people in cars a lot of the time don't exactly pay attention to the people around them. Welcome to Palm Springs. Well, I'm not going there. Yeah, I don't know. I just, there's something about bikes that just I love so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think cars are really cool as well, but there's just not that sense of freedom in a car for me. No, it's always just been a thing for me. I've always loved motorcycles. Just even growing up, even though there weren't that many motorcycles around in my life personally, just driving around, you know, or going to a restaurant or something, or even just going for a walk and seeing like a nice Harley Davidson, or, you know, a bike like that, driving, it's just one of those things where it's just so, it just feels like there's so much freedom. You know, I've told my story in the past about the things I've been through and my PTSD and things like that, and I've always felt like I need a sense of freedom. That's the thing, I've always felt like I need a sense of freedom. I need something to make me feel free, make me feel liberated from, you know, the pain of my past. And I just think that a motorcycle would do that. And I've driven a bike before. I mean, it wasn't like anything crazy. It was a Vespa. It's still motorized. It was a really nice one. That was like an old classic European Vespa. I was going 80 kilometers an hour on that thing, bro. 80 kilometers an hour, which is probably like, I don't know, what would you say? It's like, I can look at my speedometer right now. It's like 50 miles per hour. And, you know, which is pretty fast, if I'm being honest. And I felt so free. I felt so free. It was just the best feeling ever, dude. But for me, a bike is just, makes me feel like I can really go for a ride and, you know, get everything off my mind that's on my mind, and I can just feel free, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Why are you honking at me? I'm in my lane. But yeah, I'd be pretty excited to do these in real life, and I would hope also to make some cool videos on, you know, me doing work on my bike, whether that might be a exhaust swap or, you know, some other cool things like that, just some little accessories. One thing I always like, I don't know if you guys can see on my bike right now, but I don't have any mirrors on my handlebars. In real life, if I had a motorcycle, I put the mirrors below the handlebars, just because, you know, you don't want your shoulders or your arms blocking your way of, you know, view. And I find that on a, oh my god, and I find that, you know, that's something that happens quite frequently with people that ride motorcycles, is, you know, your arms always get in the way of your mirrors. And so that's just one of the issues I really don't feel like facing. Plus, I think that it looks cooler when they're under the handlebars as well, my opinion. But yeah, this is a nice bike overall. I love this bike. I don't know how to turn my lights on. I kind of want my lights on, but no, this is a good sounding bike. It's nothing too crazy, and obviously I would want to do some work to the way it sounds, but, you know, overall it sounds quite nice. Where are we at right now? The Mojave Desert. Alright, I'm just gonna pull over here for a second to make sure we're still going on the right path. Another thing I like about this bike as well is how the speedometer is like right there in front of you. Like, it's just, you don't really have to look down to look at it. So, I'm personally a big fan of that. Aw, dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to do this with people. This will be so fun, you know, just having some cool chats. Just hanging out, vibing out, talking about some IRL stuff. And I think, like I already said, you know, the GTA ones are going to be really cool as well. I mean, the bikes aren't going to be the greatest, but... Oh, what's up with all the deer? The bikes might not be the coolest, and they might not sound the best, but I think that overall, the, you know, content will be pretty cool as well, because on that, you'll be able to go into stores and actually do stuff, right? In this, you can't really do any of that. You know, I think this game would be so sick. I mean, the game is already sick, but I think that what would make it even cooler would be the cherry on top, would be if they made it so that you were able to get off of your bike or out of your cars and you can walk around. Kind of like what you can do in the HQs. But it'd be cool if you could do that all the time. Like, I think if the people that made the Crew 2 had their licensing with all these companies, like Harley Davidson, Indian, KTW, all these other ones, right? You know, Kawasaki, and I think if they use their licensing and then they kind of found an agreement with the companies to allow people to get off the bikes and do things like that. I don't know if they need an agreement for that. I'm not sure how that all works. But I think that that would be just so sick. Like a GTA styled game, like with real places and real vehicles. That's the thing that's missing in GTA. It doesn't matter if they're real places or real vehicles. They have everything there. All they need to do is make it more realistic in the sense of how far you can go. And like, the thing that annoys me about that game is it takes you like 10 minutes to get from the bottom of Los Angeles all the way up into the country on the other side of like California. It makes no sense. But if you look at this game, my drive originally on my Suzuki crotch rocket, that took me about 30 to 45 minutes to get from Los Angeles to Miami. And that's pretty realistic. It's not realistic wise like in real life, but they made it like gaming realistic in the sense of like they made it so that it's gonna take you a while to get from one place of this in, you know, another part of the states to another. You're going to a completely different state. You're going from California to Florida. So that's obviously going to take you a while. So with GTA, the thing that kind of annoys me is that it's just not realistic. I mean, the time it takes to get places isn't realistic. And the other thing I don't like, is that you have these, flying bikes that are just so annoying. I don't get it. I don't get why they ever put... People in that game shouldn't be allowed to use weaponized vehicles. I get that it's a Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, but what criminal in real life, if they wanted to make it realistic heists and things like that, what criminals in real life actually have access to tanks and flying bikes and jetpacks? The game has just become so unrealistic. It's like appealing to the little kids that shouldn't even be playing the game. Oh, this is a really run-down gas station. I don't even know if this gas station is working anymore. Alright guys, so we couldn't get gas there, and it's raining super heavily, so we gotta try to get there quickly. Yeah, you can trust me when I tell you that there's no way I would be driving in this weather if I had the choice. There's just so much that could go wrong. Look how crazy the light is though. We're in a big storm, you can tell, because the light out there is just... That's like the good side. That's the side that's sunny, which I hope we're going into. And then we got all this over here. Holy crap. It's getting a little dark. Oh, there's a little restaurant. Okay, maybe this gas station works. Oh, that's bumpy. Dude, what is this? Alright, I think we're coming to the edge of the storm. I think we might be getting a bit better now. It's kind of fun going fast on these roads, there's like nobody around. You can just vibe out on the roads. I don't condone speeding, but, if you're by yourself somewhere and the roads aren't wet, then you're good. Finally, bro, a gas station that works. What? Where do I go to get my gas? Oh, here we go. Alright, Alright, well, we're done with that. So it's time for us to head out. What the heck? What are you doing, idiot? What's wrong with this? Oh! What's wrong with this freaking town, bro? Oh, yo! Don't know what the heck was going on there. The clouds look really nice. Like purple and pink. It's kind of weird if you ask me. Look at that. That is trippy. Yeah, the graphics in this game are crazy. I love the graphics in this game. Awesome. Wow, that was fast. These little towns are nice, though. I like these because there's nothing too crazy going on. And you can just kind of cruise. Not a lot of traffic. You know, meanwhile in LA, there's traffic all the time, so I can barely go anywhere or do anything with this. But when we're just here, it's pretty chill. Whoa! Come on. Crank her out for the long run. 200 kilometers an hour. These straightaways are so dangerous, bro. I do not trust myself on these straightaways. Now, the other thing I want to talk about regarding me doing motovlogs in real life, they won't happen as soon as I start riding my motorcycle. That's definitely for sure. Because I'm gonna have to wait a little while before I do that. Meaning, I need to learn how to drive and practice first. Now, I obviously do have a very good idea of how it will work. I know that because, like I said before, I've driven a Vespa at 80 kilometers an hour, or 50 miles per hour, roughly, which isn't, like, I get a Vespa isn't like a normal bike. A Vespa's a lot lighter, a Vespa's a lot smaller, but I have an idea of how to lean, I have an idea of how to shift, I have an idea of how to control a bike going at that speed. So overall, it's really not too difficult, but there's a lot more to it than just learning or knowing those basics. So I would probably be riding my motorcycle for a couple, maybe like a month or so, and then after I do that, get myself really down on the basics and just making sure that I am definitely safe enough that I can do a motovlog in real life without having to worry about, you know, not knowing what I'm doing at times. Then I can do it. So yeah, that'll just be a heads up. I can probably still show you guys the bike and whatnot and all that cool stuff and the work I do to the bike, but as far as motovlogs, I can't see that happening as soon as I get the bike. I think that's Dallas right there. We're not too far away. I am going insanely fast. Let's slow her down a bit here. Alright, well, it says now that Dallas is straight ahead, so I mean, we did a good job. We had a pretty good drive here today, just on our own. So hopefully you guys do want to see more of these because they're pretty fun to make, I'm not gonna lie. So the next one that I do will either be the Crew Tour GTA, depending on if I can get more people in here. I've already asked somebody if they could help, so I'll see if they want to help out for the next Motovlog, which will be on here if they do say that they can. So I'm pretty excited for that. And yeah, we'll see how everything goes in that sense. I'm pretty excited for that. I've never actually been to Dallas. Like, I've never been to anywhere in the States besides New York, Buffalo, and Florida. So I'm not too sure how everything is in Dallas. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Dallas before. Let me know if this seems like a pretty... Let me know if this place seems accurate to the real version of Dallas. I'm trying to figure out where I can go. So I'm gonna go in that parking garage, but I can't go in there. So maybe I'll just go in here. Oh, that was a bit bumpy. Alrighty guys, well thank you so much for watching. Hope you all did go on to enjoy the video. I had a lot of fun making it. Yeah, like I said, be tuned for more of these. If you guys do like these, please smash the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys do like these and if you want to see more of them. I'd be more than happy to make more of these, depending on if you guys want to see more, of course. But yeah, anyway guys, see you in the next one. Been your boy Harley, and as always guys, peace.